All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rose Review. It's been a week. Sorry, guys. Nick and I had some stuff that I had to handle. Nick is here.
Likewise.
So
yeah,
we were just trying to figure it out. But thank you for being able to reschedule. Vlone, Brazy's in the building. How you doing, bro?
Doing well, man.
I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm exhausted. To be quite honest, Nick and I are at the point right now where we're trying to figure out
what's next.
What's next? And so we've been having these conversations all week because every single time I do a season, it's like only 10 episodes. And that's it. And now we're at 12.
Yeah,
this is 12.
This will be number 12.
So we're trying to figure out like a good, like either stopping point, not for good, but
definitely not for good.
Trying to figure out because, you know, we got school and we have a lot of other things that we do and we got to channel some of that somewhere else. So, but we're still going to be making shit. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, we got Vlone and Brazy here. First of all, I got to thank you because I met you about 2-3 years ago, and I wouldn't have known about Nav if it wasn't for him and JB. Not even gonna hold.
Really?
Not even gonna hold. And so that's just what reminds, because we used to fuck around. I recorded a song of him. Did we record one for you too, or did?
On the PSSI.
Oh, yeah. Did we record one for you?
Yeah, nah. Yeah,
we recorded one for him too. This is when I thought for some reason that I could just produce hip hop music out of my ass, and that failed miserably. But now I'm doing this, so here we are. So I'm very excited to have you. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've had my eye on you since I started actually like videotaping these, and as things started to go, you have a very unique style of kind of just how you conduct your flows, I think. I'm really interested in to kind of understand where that background comes from you, the type of artists that you listen to, because I know you have a very, very, very broad library of music that you listen to just from me personally knowing you. So kind of just like walk me through that, because I'm just really interested just to kind of figure out.
Yeah, so I mean, like, for the most part, like, I like a lot of old school rap. So, like, just 90s rap.
Yeah.
But also, like, new school rap, like Playboy Carti. So, like, if you think about it, like, a lot of old heads wouldn't like Playboy Carti because it's not lyrical. But, like, for me, I like a mix of that. So, like, guys like Mobb Deep, Big Pun, Tupac, I like, and they really gave me a lot of influence with rap.
Yeah.
Just, like, I don't know, just giving it your all and just doing what you have to do.
Yeah.
For the most part.
I think what's really, I'm not sure what you would classify it as, but the type of music that you make isn't with a wave right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, honestly.
And it was the same thing with J Walt too. When we had J Walt in here, it was the same conversation. And I'm interested to see how you feel about that, because a lot of people that we've had in here are either like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm comfortable with this, or like they have been very wave driven, and you see it when they show up here, you know, and the way that they act. I don't know, just memes essentially. I don't know.
What?
Some people. I don't know.
Explain.
Go
a little deeper in that question.
Explain what I just said.
Yeah.
I think if you develop this character, and as soon as the camera goes on, that character turns on. I've seen it happen in this office, and it is one of the most frustrating things for me, because in my heart, I know that that's not a real interview that I'm doing. I'm speaking to a character. I'm speaking to a personality. And that sometimes gets frustrating. And that often comes with the type of wave that people try to be on. You know what I mean? So I feel like sometimes they go hand in hand and associate. Does that make sense?
No, I understand what you mean.
So, like, where do you kind of feel like you stand right now?
For the most part, I just, like, it's like with music, it's like I do it for the love. Like, it's not about the results. It's about, I really make music for, like, hey, am I going to like how this sounds while I listen to this music? And, like, starting out, like, you know, we would make, me, JB, Joel, we make music. And we'd be like, yeah, man, this is crazy. But, like, now, like, we can actually listen to it. Because, like, before we listen to it, and a month later, be like, But now we're listening to our music that we haven't released. That's what I'm talking about now. A lot of music we haven't released, because I have over, like, probably 40 tracks I haven't released. Because all last year, 2018, up till now, I didn't really release much music. I would just work on music, try to just work on my sound, work from the ground up, and try to get everything right. Just working hard. So, like, me and Jordan, he would just work with me a lot. So, like, every day up till now, from, like, last year, we would just work on songs, bang out, like, probably, like, 5-6 songs a day, just work on, see what's better, go back into it, listen to it. So, like, we're not really worried about the results, because it's all about the love right now, because we love the process.
Do you think that goes hand in hand, I think, with kind of just who you, like, okay, hold on, let me rephrase that. Do you think the type of music that you're making, the amount of numbers or the like the quantity of songs that you have, do you think that goes hand in hand with how like you feel about them in terms of are they going to perform well? Like because I myself and I know a lot of other artists have books of songs, 200.
Yeah,
I've written probably over 50 songs, and I've only put out 3 of them because I feel like they're actually gonna do numbers and potential. So is that how you look at it, or do you look at it as like this is what I want to do right now? It doesn't really matter. Like
not trying to be cocky, but I know there's people that will really mess with my music. I just haven't pushed it like that just yet because I'm at the process and I'm pretty much done because I'm at the process now where I'm just finishing up a few things and I'm gonna release it and then I'm on to the next chapter. But I really believe there's a lot of music that me and like other guys I've done music with that I usually do music with is gonna blow up. I personally feel. Because we just put that work in and we're just ourselves on there. We just do what we want to do.
I think a style that comes with you and people like Jay Walt too. And I keep referring back to this because we had him on and that was great. That was awesome. Yeah. But what was I gonna say? This type of music that you make is something that I think garners to a specific type of audience. Do you agree with me?
No, definitely.
I feel like you could fit kind of in this alternative, like Odd Future, Joey Badass type wave. Definitely. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And some people look at that in a sense as like a bad thing. I think if they are classified as that, but I think Joey Badass is a fucking rock star. And old heads, that's facts.
Be really mad.
That's facts.
I don't know why. I really don't know why.
Why? What do you mean?
You know, when old heads see young talent, they should be inspired instead of mad that they're not getting the same check that they are. You know. Them royalties, they do run out.
Okay, so hold on, just to transition because we're talking music now.
Yeah.
So what you just said is part of the reason why I have not been a fan of J. Cole for the past few months, because I understand where he's coming from a sense where, like, especially like, was it 1985? That whole situation, okay, cool. But then 1985 then progressed into that whole album and then progressed into everything that he put out after that, including Middle Child even a little bit. So it's like, how many times are you going to like keep talking about that?
Kendrick wave.
I feel like that's another reason why I put Kendrick to a side a little bit, because like I just didn't want to hear that, because like it's a sense of it's a really like hypocritical thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? But if you want to see other people succeed and you are trying to be peaceful with the things that you say, but on the flip side, you're just breaking down that character of somebody that, you know, it may not be the right thing, it may not be the wrong thing. That's something that I have to figure out too. But, you know, it just seems like it's just a lot of complaining.
Yeah, the way
seems like an old head type shit, you know?
This rap thing is... It's so ambiguous now. It changes every day, I feel. Yeah. I feel like yesterday we were talking about Blueface, but who's next? Like, what offbeat rap is going to be next? Or what?
How do you feel about that?
Or what kind of rap?
How do you feel about Blueface?
Well, I mean, I was going to go back to your question.
Okay, please go for it.
I really want to comment on that. Because I used to feel the same way. But I went to a J. Cole concert back in September, and I'm not going to lie, like, one thing I was surprised about, like the message he kind of talks about, because for him, I think he feels like he's with the culture. So the message he's talking about, I was surprised how many white people were in the audience. So like I was like, man, what is he doing that's like the songs he makes, I know like he's doing it for like the black culture. So I was like, man, he has a lot of white fans. Like it was all like white people there. I was at Penn State.
That's like an interesting.
Yeah, it was all white people. So I'm like,
wait, you were at Penn State though?
Yeah, I was at Penn State.
Okay, well that kind of makes sense a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it does, but like still, I was just surprised he could go out there and get that type of crowd. You know what I mean? People really rock with his music.
He's
like
mainstream,
and like he would like.
Yeah, he's mainstream enough to get that kind of audience.
Yeah,
but I think when you use that audience to, like, okay, get upset and like you can diss whoever the fuck you want to diss, like that's cool. But like, do you need to do it 5 times, 6 times, 9 times, 11 times?
Playing it out pretty much at that point.
Exactly. Like, is your next album just gonna be shitting on like bulls like Lil Pump that aren't even relevant anymore? Like, why can't you just let the world like let that play out? Because like if he's so humble and he's smart he claims to be smart, and these guys that are old heads claim to be smarter than everybody else. If you're so smart, you have to mentally put in your head like, oh, I've seen this shit before. Like if you are at a point where like you can say that your career is probably one of the best, or you will live on for ages, if you can say that, you have to mentally check into your head. Think about the times about when you were coming up and the people that were around you, and look at how many of them are around. And only 3-4 of these niggas like came out and are fine.
No, yeah.
Who's actually old head, to be honest? Because like I don't like J. Cole's young, but he's just like Joe Budden.
It's old head mentality. Somebody told me once I had a Joe Budden career, and I said, "What are you talking about?"
I'll have a Joe Budden career. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that.
Somebody told me that like
in a bad
tried to say that exactly.
Okay.
That I had an old head mentality.
Oh shit.
That's fine, but it was whatever.
Okay.
It's okay.
I don't think I would say that. You give people pretty decent
I know.
chance.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Niggas try to diss me saying some shit about me being a Millersville man, and here I am.
I'm sitting here with 2 Millersville men, so
that's facts. What's it like going to Millersville and like being around like so many different types? Because I know the crew that you run with, and I know like in certain aspects,
it's the culture out here. To be honest,
it's cool. It's cool. It's really like, okay, can you relate to because like people come in here like, especially like on the other show that I produce as well, like. We had a group come in here and they were talking about Millersville, but I never looked at it this way. It's like Millersville isn't really that big of a party situation. Mm-hmm. It's like a matter of like finding your group and finding your clique and then just running with them for 4 years and then just chilling. And that's really, like, have you kind of like stayed the same with the same group of people pretty much?
I've been
same, like literally. I don't know how it is anywhere else. Mm-hmm. Like I go to Temple and it's not like that at all. But like anyway, do you think that people are, once you start putting out more music and once you are ready to solidify yourself, is kind of what you're doing? Because like I understand where you're coming from, where you're trying to keep your shit underground, because I know where your head is, and I know up here that you like to methodically think through things. And with that, I know that if you feel like you're gonna go after something special and it's important to you, you're gonna find it in the right way that you need to find it, which is why I want to have you on here, because I believe in the craft that you're putting together, because I mean lyrically you have an understanding of how to not necessarily, like I said, stay with the wave, but like be able to figure out how to make it your own, and that's very hard to find right now. Does that make sense?
No, yeah.
So how do you think people are going to receive it when you kind of just step into your own and who you are? Like especially out here in Millersville, like as you connect with people, because like I know you have a big base of people that you can touch base with. You know what I mean? So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean like for real, at Millersville, I'm like a low key guy, so I'm not that known. People know me because I hang out with Jordan and certain other guys.
Right.
But Westchester is where I like really hang out a lot, so that's where my music's kind of been getting pushed with Joel.
So you've been dipping out that way.
Well, that's where I'm from.
Well, I know that, but like, is that what you've been doing on most weekends?
Yeah, like a lot of times.
Like, for real?
Just rapping with Joe, people like, oh, you're Vlone Brazy. So like, I don't get that here because I don't go out like that as much.
But when you're out there,
when I'm out there, it's different. So that's the crowd I could say like that I'm getting more support from.
It's a better scene out there, you think?
Yeah, everybody. We're about to actually have a show. Like 10 artists, everyone from Westchester, certain artists from Westchester University, and certain like local artists. We're about to do a show and from Nice Man Clothing that Joel does.
Yo, okay, listen. Yeah. You want to hear a funny story, bro? Mm-hmm. So it was the first weekend that I had come back to Millersville. No, it was towards the end of the semester of last year. I was coming back, so it was one weekend we decided to go out, and so I'm going out. We're hitting all these frat parties, and I saw him, and I saw his hat.
Oh,
and
Joel,
exactly, and I saw the Nice Man, and I was like, I'd seen that before because Jay Wall showed it to us. He was like, "Yo, like when this drops, like I want you to get involved in this, this, that, and the third." So he walks out of the basement as to where I was walking in, and he goes, "I saw the hat." I was like, "Yo, bro, that's a sick design. Like I've seen that shit before." He's like, "No, you haven't." And then he just walked away, and I was like, "No way, I'm letting him just run like that." So I walk out. I was like, "No, you do not understand. Like I interviewed Jay Walt. Like he put me onto your shit. Your shit is tough. Like let me know if you ever want to do a collab sometime." So Nice Man Clothing, your shit is tough. Let me know if you ever want to do a collab sometime. Anyway, but I'm interested. So when is that?
We're planning March, what was it, 22nd? I think that's a Friday.
That's almost unheard of in Millersville to get a local show like that.
Stop it. Nobody would go.
Exactly. And
Am I wrong?
I think it's the culture, man. It's just like there, everybody in Westchester, like the vibe's different. Everybody man, you walk by somebody, like, they're going to probably give you a conversation. Where here, you walk by somebody and, like,
everybody's quiet.
Everybody's quiet, like, out here, because everyone's just distant. But there, it's more of a, like, I mean, it's Westchester, so it's more
Bro, but
metropolitan.
did it really used to be like that, though?
No. Mm-mm.
Like, this just started, right? I'm not crazy.
That's what me and Jordan talk about all the time. Like, we're like, man, like, freshman year was just so much more fun. But now it's like, everybody's just
because everybody was with it was
phones while they're walking.
No, and that's really what it's become. The other thing too is like the university is now being headed by a bunch of different individuals, and like I feel like this happens with different universities. There's the people that are like the teacher's pet that like take over the university for a little bit, and then it looks like it's awful forever. Like dog Millersville, they took the money out of the budget to make the street into a sidewalk. Right, that whole entire what is that east or which one of Frederick is that? Which one? Anyway, it's on Frederick Street. They're making it into a walkway, but they took the money away from that. This is what I was being told from like people like who are in Senate and stuff. They took the money away from that to go and get Young the Giant, like the band.
What?
For the what's it called?
The Spring Fling thing.
That shit.
Oh.
Young the Giant.
Exactly.
Who's that?
I know of Young the Giant because I was in an alternative band. And Young the Giant is an alternative band.
Sounds
but like I don't think anybody's gonna go.
God. Oh, so this concert hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't happened.
This is for this spring.
This is this spring, my guy.
Oh my god.
They didn't go, dude. Okay, so I was sitting here and I'm sitting back and I'm like, yo, if I was still on that committee, bro, I would have went for Little Skies because he's not doing anything right now. Yeah. He would show up and we could pay for him. If we're gonna take money out of a budget to build a better road for an artist, we should go and get somebody that people are gonna come and see.
What was that one concert? There was a little concert out here. Charles was in, and it was a bunch of different. There's some bands.
Oh no! See, that was even bullshit. That was from my broader music productions.
Yeah.
And then after that, two of them came to me, knocking on my door, saying, "Hey, I need help getting like hip hop artists." Like, and I was like, because like I went there and it was like there was 4 people that showed up, like 4 or 5 people in the beginning, and then like another like 7 or 8. So only like 10 people there. Like, shouts to MMP, but like the way that turned out was nah bueno. It was like I was just sitting there. I was like, damn, like I've seen worse shows. Like,
good practice though.
What?
Good practice though.
How do you practice? Like, it's good practice, but like, how do you do what you do? Like, that's the thing. Like, if you're a DJ or like a rapper, how do you do what you do that you can do anywhere else? It's not like a band that needs to be in sync all the time. It's like you're in sync with yourself. You have your own beats all the time, and you can just go bang, 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 bang.
Yeah,
it's different.
It's very different when there's a full crowd.
And then like exactly, you don't like how are you getting hype with 12 people? See, that's where practice comes with performance, and then you got to look at performance and be like, I don't know. Have you performed anywhere yet?
No.
So this next show is gonna be
first one.
How you feeling?
I mean, like, obviously I'm nervous, but at the same time, like, I just gotta do me.
What are you nervous about?
I'm just nervous because, like, I've never done it before. This is the first feel of, your first time doing something, but
stage presence is difficult. Yeah. Honestly, stage presence is a difficult thing.
If you haven't been trained to kind of understand what it's supposed to look like, and like, I mean, even watching like figures really helps. Yeah. Like, I know that like when I haven't really asked this question a lot, but like, just people that you look at in terms of like a stage performance, like that's going to reflect. It's like monkey see, monkey do. It's the same type of thing. You want to put on a show for something that you saw that was really good. Like when you went to the J. Cole concert, like I bet you if I have seen a J. Cole concert, like videos of it, kind of know what the vibe is. I bet you there was some parts where it was like, it was cool. He was just walking around, he was chilling. And then he like sat down for a little bit. And like got in that and like intimate with the crowd and things like that. Like, if I were to ever do anything like a rap album or anything like that is the type of like audience that I would want to target, because those are the ones that are going to keep coming back and coming back because you hit a spot here.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I think it's just being able to find like what's good for you and listening to the people around you, like making sure that you have people around you that are going to give you like good advice and actually tell you how you did. Yeah, no, because like some people don't have it.
Remember when Usher kicked that lady in the face?
What are you talking about?
In like 2005, he told a girl to come up on the stage and sit on a chair, and he kicked the shit out of her. Like, not on purpose. It was just a bad stage performance. It was funny though. Look it up sometime.
I'm going to.
You'll be like.
Was it one of those stupid things where like they're humping girls in chairs and shit?
Yes.
Oh, okay, bet.
Yes.
I never understood that. I don't know. I never got it. That's just me.
Who knows, man?
Anyway, so the 22nd. So is that you, and then who is all gonna go with you?
So it's me,
like at least from your crew.
Yeah, me, J Walt Bang Bang, JP, aka Jay Hefner,
JP, man.
Yeah,
fucks with JP.
Daryl, Pretty Boy Daryl, and Jordan.
So they're all going. So everybody's gonna be there.
Yeah, we're gonna be there. And then we have the other half is like a few local artists that have a buzz, and 2 artists that have Keem Olajuwon from Westchester University. And another guy. They kind of have a little following.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard of them. Sounds interesting though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They go to Westchester.
Yeah. So they're involved. So they have a pretty big following because a lot of these guys have pretty big followings.
So you're from Westchester, right?
It's like a little city out there, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So right out
there. Yeah.
Okay. Word. So what was it like growing up in that area? Like, did you ever find this like niche that you had? Because didn't you used to hoop?
Yeah, I played basketball seriously,
Yeah. Like all through high school, right?
Yeah, all through high school.
Because like, I don't know. I always am interested in the athletes that do the music because I see it a lot, and some are really good at it.
Seems like a natural progression almost.
It's very interesting. I don't know. What do you like? I mean, where was the transition for you?
See,
because I know you didn't come to college to hoop.
No, definitely not.
Right.
No, in high school, I would always like freestyle with like the same guys I hang with out with now. The same guys I rap with, I was with, like Joel and JP. I knew them since 9th grade.
Right.
And like Joel 8th grade and like 7th grade. So we would always like be out over the crib freestyling. So like I always kind of like would rap. I knew I could kind of like freestyle a little bit, but I was always basketball every day, like 24/7, literally.
Right.
Like so. But when I got to college, like college you have that free time.
Yeah.
And after a while, you go out, you start going out, you start experiencing new things. And I'm like, man, like. I remember Jordan, he was the one that had the mic. So he always he's really good at engineering music. He's gotten a lot better. So we just started rapping on there. I was like, wow, like, and just doing it with my friends really just encouraged me because it was a thing where like, man, I really like it a lot. And like my friends are doing it because, you got that influence from your friends. But eventually I just started doing it in my basement by myself, and that's where I learned to love it.
That's what I'm interested in because there has to come a point in every sense, and I see this with everybody. Especially people that start off doing this kind of as a unit, you have to be able to set yourself apart from your unit and build yourself too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
So like, I think I'm just kind of intrigued as to where was the ticker moment for you where you were like, now I'm ready to take this seriously and I'm ready to build, because you reached out to me. Yeah. And so I kind of want to know like where your head is in terms of like how you want to structure this thing. Does that make sense?
No, I understand. So like, yeah, like probably like 2017 summer, I started like, I was like, man, like I already like this. Like I was getting some feedback from people. Like my brother is one of my biggest supporters, but he's very blunt. Yeah. So he kept it real. He was like, I wouldn't tell you like to do it if you couldn't do it, but like you're actually, you can do something with this. So I was like, okay, kept going with it, and I just started making more music. After a while, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep going harder with it every time, because every time when you're doing music, sometimes you get those like, man, like. It's a lot, like, I want to keep going. Yeah. But then after a while, like, you got to take a break. You go back in, I just get hungry again. I'm just keep going in. And the biggest thing for me is progress. Like, if I wasn't progressing, it's like basketball. Like, if I'm not progressing, like, or anything you do, if you're not really progressing, you kind of lose that interest.
So do you find that the mentality that you have, like, from just playing sports and I think just kind of building yourself as a man, I think.
Yeah.
Like, do you find that like those tools have really helped you kind of just bring that all together and really just say, okay, this is how I'm going to motivate myself. Just like I would motivate myself on the court, and just like I would motivate myself in my classes. Like, this is where I'm going to put this energy. So is that how are you feeling the way that you were with sports, with the music?
Definitely in a way, but the thing about music I love more. I would say I love basketball, but music is a different love. So like with music, there is politics, but there's not as many boundaries. Like you really have a free will of where you want to go, what you want to do, just anything you want within music. Yeah. Of an artistic view. So like definitely like, so like I would say for some of my music, what I do by myself is more like I can listen to it and be like, man, like, yeah, I might be the only one that understands it, but definitely I could see what I was trying to do with it because I have that free will of what I want to do. So that's what I love about it the most.
Interesting. Word. No, and I totally get that. And sometimes like what we always say, I mean, art is subjective. Yeah. And I think that kind of really ties into that. So we are going to take a quick break here. We're going to get our camera back rolling, and we will be right back. Wow. Sorry. I don't know if I'm getting a cold or what's going on.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it's not. This is not the normal James voice. But ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We got the camera back up and rolling. So back to kind of what we were talking about in terms of you just trying to develop yourself. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see what your next steps are in terms of kind of just how you want to brand like Vlone Brazy. Yeah. Like how you what do you want to do? Like where do you see yourself in like the next couple of years? Like I'd say, I don't know, 5-year plan maybe. Yeah. Something like that. Like where do you want to go? Well, who do you want and just like to help me kind of envision like even like people you want to end up surrounding yourself with in this game, because
or even who you want to be, like who you aspire to be.
Yeah, something like that.
We talked on the phone before we got on this, and he compared you to Joey Badass. I listened to your music before that, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I could actually see that. But I'm interested to see where your head's at as far as an artist that you could see yourself, adhering to almost.
Definitely, like I would see myself as definitely like one of those guys that made good music was underrated. I just feel like, because I always felt like I was always an underdog. I've always had that feeling. So like I would say someone like I said, Mobb Deep, Prodigy, who's really good. I would say he's kind of underrated though, because just like if you actually know him as an artist, like, he was very smart. He comes from a great background, but his music and his lyrical ability was crazy.
Do you think that you are in a situation where you're okay with having a specific type of fan base that is going to be loyal to you, even though it's not going to be something that's going to be crazy? You know what I mean? Like, people know who you are, but like and I talk about this a lot, but there's like a special place in like the people that like listen to your music's like heart for like what you make. Like there's artists all the time that like I find on SoundCloud that only grab like maybe like 72K sometimes, but like I love them as an artist because I know what I'm gonna get from them, and I try to share them as much as I can. Like really those are the fans that I find are really 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 dedicated. So like, are you comfortable with being in a position like that? Because that's kind of where I think you are, like like not where you are, but like where you're coming from. Does that make sense?
It's not about like the fame. I don't really want to necessarily be like this big star, but like someone like that inspires me. Actually, I'll say it again. You're gonna think this is crazy. Is Lil B. Like Lil B is one of my favorite rappers.
Really?
Yeah, I mean I know it's Lil B, but like it's not necessarily the music. It's
You've been saying that for a while. I remember.
It's how he is. Really, I feel like Lil B's a pioneer. It's the way he influenced today's rap.
He definitely is a pioneer as far as an underground. Like I can't name. I can't name 10 Lil B songs. This
boy used to blast Lil B in the
morning. No, I definitely see where you're coming from as far as the influence goes, because he has unboundless influence. Like he's like he'll get it done.
I personally don't know a lot of his stuff, but you showed me some of his stuff, and I know some of it just from just knowing.
I mean, like a lot of people, it's very odd music, and it is odd music. But the thing I respect about him is that he didn't care what anyone thought, and he gets a lot of respect in the game because Lil B was just himself. Like Lil B was just himself, and I mean, obviously he has a positive image, but he was just himself and just did what he wanted. He was just in his own world,
right?
And that's just like with the music stuff. I'm kind of like me. I'm just kind of in my own world sometimes, and sometimes I don't like that. Sometimes I get out the loop of things. But at the same time, like I just experience less problems, and just doing things according to the way I want to do it. And I feel like Lil B, he was just himself, like, and I feel like that paid off in the long run, because he really, like a lot of artists like A$AP Rocky, he gets the respect, like they listen to Lil B. Like I feel like a lot of artists today.
Well, and I even think that that's even exactly where I'm going for in terms of a fan base. I mean, A$AP, like A$AP Rocky's big, but just A$AP Mob in general, they have a specific type of target. Like, it's like a target market.
Yeah, no, it is. It genuinely is. That's the best way to put it.
I don't know. That's the only way that I can really piece it together. So, knowing that you're comfortable with that, I think is really good in telling of your character. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, definitely.
So I don't know. That's kind of what I like to find in people. I like to find, like, people can go and they can chase the money and the fame. I want it.
Yeah, no doubt. Like,
but what are you gonna do for those people that are loyal?
Yeah.
So
we talk about a specific scenario, like, and this is applicable because you run with a team. Like, how often do we see people within a team, like, making music together, and then they start to have conflicts over something as minuscule as money, and they haven't even made any money.
That's facts.
So
I feel like that's what what's gonna happen to the Migos and like and watch. I'll give it like 6 months because here's what's gonna happen.
6 months.
Yeah.
For Migos
to like fall apart.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's bold.
That's a bold statement, and the only reason I say that is because, and I'm sorry, I know this is going a little bit off topic, but Quavo dropped his album, Takeoff dropped his, and Offset just dropped his. Mm-hmm. So when you look at streaming numbers, you're gonna see who's really bringing the eyes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, like if Quavo has more eyes than Takeoff or Offset, it's the whole thing. If Offset's album does more, it's the whole thing. People were even getting pissed off, and like there was even a weird vibe with like Offset didn't even put Takeoff on his album.
That's kind of weird.
You feel me? So like that for me raises a red flag.
It's like the Jackson 5.
But I feel like it's the same type of thing. Like the fame and like you hear about Offset, you hear about Quavo, and those are the ones that are doing the features. Yeah. I don't really see a lot of Takeoff features, and that's what I'm saying. So like, so I know exactly what you mean by that, but I don't think he's gonna be in a situation like that. I don't think his team's gonna be in a situation like that. It's not partially because I know them, and I know that it's a ride or die thing.
Yeah.
You feel?
I mean, I was like, that's like we wanted to do a group kind of at first, like cause like ASAP Mob, they influenced us a lot.
It's very difficult.
But at the same time, we're like, no, we don't want to do that because we want to have our own name. But at the same time, we make
it's windy as fuck out there. Do you hear that shit? Oh my god, sorry, I'm listening. My bad.
No, but we want to make our own names for ourselves, but at the same time, we love making music with each other. Yeah. So like you would kind of think, we are a group as many songs as we have together, but at the same time, we're still individuals that's doing our own thing.
And I see success with that in some collectives around here. I also think that a lot of people who become too team-oriented, it gets a little difficult because if you can't go anywhere without your squad, like, then you're a group.
Group thinker. I mean? You're a group thinker.
You're a group thinker. You can't do anything by yourself. So,
because at the end of the day, who are you gonna bring to the sit down with the label? Are you gonna bring your whole team? Maybe you will.
Is everybody getting a check out of that?
But that's right. Do they want you or do they want your team?
And are you turning down a label look? Like
I know
it comes down to label looks. Are you turning?
You're
good. You're all good. No, it's fine. Are you turning down a label look
to have your team with you?
Exactly.
No, I know. No.
Are you?
It's I know.
It's a hard situation. It's a hard difficult. Like we can say in hindsight because hindsight's always 20/20. I can sit here and I can say, well, shit, fuck that.
Not everybody's Macklemore. But nobody just has not everybody has that.
Macklemore and Ryan Lewis type shit. Is that what you're talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Came in the game together, turned down deals to go independent and do that. It's very difficult. Do
you want
to
go for a label or do you want to be an independent artist?
I personally want to be independent because I just I feel like I said, it kind of goes with my music, like just being true to myself and doing my own thing. Yeah. I feel like that's what I do, but I know that's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is.
But like back to what you said though, like about the whole group thing, like me and between Joel, JP, like Jordan, we all like if one of us makes it, we're all happy for each other. It doesn't matter. It's not the results. It's like if one of us makes it, I'm gonna still do me. If Joel was to blow up, I'm still gonna do me. Obviously I know Joel will still work with me, but at the same time, I understand man, that's an opportunity you have. Go ahead and get it. I'm not gonna stop. You're not gonna do that as a group.
And I think in times like that, it's also a testing moment for you and the people that you surround yourself with, because if you've got people that are trying to jump off the success of other people and it's not really like, hold up, let me mess with this. That's so much better. Okay. Anyway, if you're not,
if you don't have the correct people around you, and they're just they're jumping on your back to get to that way, and instead of being collaborative.
If you're only going to shows to get clout with your homies in Lancaster City, you're fucking up.
Yeah, that's a
you
fact.
Feel me? Like you're fucking up if the only time I see you and your homies doing anything together is when you're only doing shows. And I think that's really hard. And when you see I don't like seeing groups that there's always going to be a leader and a dominant when it comes to things like that. But when you have a power dominant or like a power leader or something like that, it gets messy. That shit gets messy as hell.
Definitely
because
friction.
What?
Causes friction.
100%. Because that person then delegates a whole pyramid. I've seen it out here.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame to see it too, because no, how are you working with somebody all the time and making music all the time, but you're gonna look at them and be like, fuck, I pay you. You do whatever the fuck I want you to do.
Yeah, right.
I pay you.
Underlings.
Running shit like, oh, I bought the stage. I bought, I paid for the lights and I pay you. You better be grateful. Yeah. Sometimes you might, end up getting your ass beat for that. But.
I understand.
No, I see what you're coming from. That's definitely a valid point.
That's facts.
That's definitely a valid point.
And I just think it's something to touch on, because we haven't really had many people really come in here and talk collective with us.
Yeah.
Because I don't think a lot of people trust it, and really trust the process of a unit.
Yeah. It's difficult for everyone to be on the same page. It seems like that's not really an issue with you guys, because
no. Because once one of you goes, I think you guys are all going to really try and take, knowing the people that you're surrounding yourself with, I think that one of you goes for it, then you are all going to look for opportunities for other people to do it.
Yeah.
And just like I would for any of my creators that come in here, just like Nick or I would do for ourselves, for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't see that ego being a piece of that's going to be friction for you guys, for sure. You definitely got that tight.
But you feel confident now, which is good.
Yeah, it's all love.
So talk to me about this mixtape, because I want to hear about it. Yeah. Do you have a tentative date for it at all?
Yeah, April 19th on my birthday.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wow, he's got that shit. Some people come in here and they're like, I don't know, I think I'm going to drop it in the spring. I think I'm going to drop it in the spring. Drops it 2 weeks later, I get a DM, yo, check this shit out. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. You were going to drop this in the spring.
Or they don't drop it at all.
Oh, yeah, or they don't drop it at all. Yeah. Or they say, like, my favorite people are the ones out here that say, like, I've got music cooking. I got new music for you soon. And I'm sitting around, I'm like, damn, bro, it's been a year. You changed your name and you ain't dropped shit. like, I don't know what to tell you. You're rebranding yourself and deleting shit on social media and doing what? Nothing. Sorry, have a nice night. But, that's the shit I think is really funny. Yeah, I don't know. Too. But you have a date, which is good. April 19th. I'm actually going to look out for that. Mm-hmm. What does that entail? Are we telling a story with this, or are we stepping out and saying, like, yo, this is what I can do, No,
definitely what I can do, but at the same time, I'm telling a story about just stuff that happens to me and, like, just how people are in just everyday life and how I see it. My point of vision.
Yeah. And I'm interested to see where you kind of draw certain conclusions to certain things, because you and I have had long conversations before. Mm-hmm. And I know you, and I know where your mentality goes, and I think that you have a very good outlook as to kind of what the world looks like, but being able to channel that. Mm-hmm. For you, I know sometimes like in conversation like that I've had with you, like you find it, but I feel like in your music you really know how to tell your story as to kind of where you're viewing these things. Does that make sense?
No, yeah.
So I don't know.
Definitely give a good sense of your perspective.
Especially like just like all of your guys' shit, like just as a collective too. Like I can tell like you're telling about your real life. I'm chilling with my homies. We're chilling. That's what it is.
Post it up.
And I see it.
Post it with collective.
That's facts. Yeah. That's what it is. So like is the storytelling gonna be like a mix of just like personal life situations, or like you just like kind of running with your gang and shit, or like what?
It's going to definitely be personal life situations. So, like, I have a type of sound where I like to do the new school, like I said, and some old school. Thanks. But I have a sound where I say a big influence I have is Icy Twa. He's a producer. I don't know if you ever heard of him. But he came up. He's kind of known from Playboy Cardi.
Okay.
But I have a sound where I like to talk about just, like, kind of like love life and stuff that happens to me, and just certain situations, and put that in a certain form, in a certain way.
Yeah.
Where you wouldn't think it was like, oh, this is not a love song, but it's in a different way. Like, I can't really give it away until you just hear it.
Yeah.
And then I have other stuff where it's like fast paced. I'm just like making music where I know, like, oh, I know my friends will mess with.
I hear some of the beats that you put. I definitely see the Cardi in that.
Yeah, no,
in the beats that you're. I'm like now. I'm like shit. I hear. What's that song? It's like
Ocean Breeze.
No. It's one of Playboy Cardi songs. He's like, woke up to the niggas talking about, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, like that, like I hear like that synth and some of the, I hear it. Mm-hmm. That's weird.
Yeah.
I didn't even pick up on that. Now that you say that shit.
It's definitely there.
Pierre Bourne.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
I'm with it. Easily. But you spit something completely different on top of it, which is.
Yeah.
So, so different. I don't know. I rock with it. But
yeah, definitely.
Where you at?
Definitely.
What were you saying about just like, kind of just like the love aspect and everything?
Yeah, no, just like putting it in a certain way. Like I use like the auto-tune thing is a big thing for me because I don't like, at first until I started working with like Jordan and Daryl, I don't really like auto-tune like that, but they kind of showed me like auto-tune is a melodic thing.
Definitely.
It is, but you got to do it.
You got to do it right.
But
I don't do auto-tune.
And we've been saying, and you've heard me say that how many times? And no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah. You have a good voice for what you do.
Definitely.
Thanks.
Your delivery is solid. Like I think development is something that comes with every year that you do this. But I think you're developing a delivery that I think resonates very well because when I listen back to your stuff, I can't really put it with somebody else.
That's the goal.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You feel confident in that? Like that this tape is going to do what you want it to do?
Definitely. I feel like a biggest goal of mine is like to make music also that doesn't sound like anything else, where people, you don't even have to mess with it. You just be like, man, like I haven't really heard anything like that before. That's a little goal I have because I set little goals, but definitely the tape's gonna have different types of sounds that I just personally that I like and that I know that other people will enjoy.
Word. So April 19th that's coming out. Word. Well, we are hitting our mark right now. But guys, make sure you check out Vlone Brazy. His shit's on SoundCloud.
Facts.
Make sure you hit that shit. Like he said, it's nothing that you guys have ever heard before. I'm a big fan of it, and I think it's actually going to do something dope. Make sure you check out on April 19th when that drops, and I'll make sure to throw something up there for you. Make sure you're following our accounts as well. You can follow us at @TheRoseReview_ on Instagram. You can also follow me and Nick at nickskicks.com_ and you can follow me at jdunk30. So make sure you check that out. We got a lot of things in store coming for you guys. Next week, we got Eastax coming to the building.
True.
Vlone Brazy, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
Shit was dope.
It was good talking to you. And like I said, look out for his shit. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace.